talking about, so if you have limits involving, it says rational functions. All a rational function is a fraction. Okay, so you have some kind of limit of a fraction. All right, there's three things that you need to kind of look for. Okay, first thing, either the highest power, the power is bottom heavy. Okay, so, and these are for limits that go to infinity. All right, if it's bottom heavy, then your limit's going to go to 0. Okay, so what would an example of that be? If it's bottom heavy, maybe I've got x squared over x to the third. Okay, and this could be like plus 1 or minus 5 or whatever. In the grand scheme of things, as we put in infinity for x, as we put in big numbers, that plus 1 and that minus 5, does that really have a whole lot of effect of our graph as you put in infinity times infinity? No. So really what we got to hone in on is this. Okay? And what that basically simplifies to be is 1 over x. Okay? And y'all know from the graph of 1 over x, right? The graph looks like that. Okay? So as x goes to infinity, what do my y values do? They go to 0. So that's why these all go to 0. So anytime the highest power of x is in the bottom of the fraction, all right, my limit's going to infinity, it's going to always approach 0 in that manner. Okay? So that's your first type. All right, your first example. Power's bottom heavy. As you go to infinity, it's going to go to 0. Second type. So maybe my powers in the top and the bottom are equal. So maybe I got x to the third in the top and I have x to the third in the bottom. Okay, the limit as x goes to infinity is just going to be the coefficient of the highest power over the coefficient of the highest power. Well, what do you mean, Coach? All right, I mean, if you got like 4x to the third plus 2x squared minus 10, all right, over, and this is, let's say 3x to the third plus x plus 2. Okay, again, all that other crap at the end doesn't really have a whole lot of effect on the graph when you put infinity in there. The thing that's going to make the most difference is the highest power, because you're multiplying infinity times infinity times infinity for x to the third. Okay? So what we look at is you look at the highest power. So what's the highest power here? X to the third. Okay? So here, the limit, as x goes to infinity for this one, of f of x, whatever the function is, all right, it's just the coefficient of that. Coefficient just means the number in front. So this one's just going to be 4 over 3. And it's honestly as simple as that. You're going to love these kind of problems.
You wouldn't believe what I said I was doing.
Okay. All right. Number 3. Okay, number 3 says if it's top heavy. So we've done bottom heavy, we've done equal. If it's top heavy, the limit as x approaches infinity of f of x is going to be either positive or negative infinity. All right, so we know it's going to go to positive or negative infinity. So an example of this that would be top heavy, you have negative x to the fifth plus 2 over x to the third minus 1. Again, the plus 2 and the minus 1, it's not going to make a huge difference in my function. All right? So right here, think about if you simplified x to the fifth over x to the third. All right? What type of thing would we get? What's that going to simplify to be? Yeah, just negative x to the second. Okay, and y'all know from this, all right, you plug in infinity for x. All right, x to the second is just a parabola upside down. Okay, and that's why that one's going to go to negative infinity. Okay, so that limit would go to negative infinity. Either way. So I can just plug something in, think about what the signs are going to be when I plug them in, and that's going to help me out. Okay? So let's look at 7a. Okay, what do we have on 7a here?
4x squared plus bottom heavy.
Yeah, so kind of big picture. What is this one? It's bottom heavy. All right. So what's that tell us about this? Okay, so if it's bottom heavy, all right, then our limit is going to go to 0. All right, because think about if it's bottom heavy, right? You're ended up with like something like 1 over x. And if x is really big, like 1 divided by 1,000, right, is getting really close to 0, right? So it kind of makes common sense just to think of that basic graph. Okay, so this limit as x approaches infinity of f of x equals 0. So that would be, like if you were on the AP test, like that's what they would want you to write. Okay, just kind of showing that you know what you're talking about. Okay, let's look at 7b. Okay, are the powers the same?
Yes.
Yeah, the highest powers are the same. So we're going to step 2. Okay, that one is just 4 over 5. Okay, no issues there. All right, because the coefficient of the highest power, you have 4x to the third and 5x to the third. So the highest powers kind of cancel each other out.
So nothing else in that equation matters.
Nope.
Oh, okay.
Nothing really matters because it's not going to do a whole lot to the equation. Right? The highest power of x is going to do the most to it because whatever you plug in for x is going to keep multiplying. Does that make sense? Okay, 7c. All right, I'm going to write this whole thing out. X to the fourth over 5x to the third. Plus 1, this is as x goes to infinity. Okay? So, this one's top heavy. All right, so we're top heavy here. So go back. What does top heavy mean to us? Okay, it's either going to positive or negative infinity. So we got to plug in to see what kind of infinity it's going to be. Okay, so think about if you just plugged in a really, really big number for x. Is it going to be positive on top?
Yeah.
So we'll have some kind of positive number on top. Will we have a positive number on bottom? Yeah, so positive over positive. So this is going to go to positive infinity. Okay, and honestly, that's all you got to do. Like, there's not a whole lot of number crunching. I just really got to think big picture on some of these problems. Can I go to the next one? 7D, what's it look like? All right. Okay. All right, so what is this top or a bottom heavy here?
Isn't that easy?
Well,
And the top is square root is like square root.
yeah, so the square root is like saying to the 1/2 power. And x is to the first power. So where's the highest power of x here? The bottom. All right. So if it's bottom heavy, where are we going to? 0. Simple as that. Okay. 7e. All right. Think about what we have here. Think about if you took the square root of x squared. Okay. That's like having an x on the top.
So it's equal.
Okay. And then you have 2x in the bottom. Yeah, so my powers, my highest powers are relatively equal to each other. So my limit for this one as x approaches infinity of f of x is equal to 1 over 2. Okay? All right, so 7f. Do I need to go back? Can I fit this on here? Yeah, I can fit it on here. 7f. All right, let's try that one on our own as we go. Okay, if we say negative 1/2, yeah, so it's x over 2x. If you plug in negative infinity for that, you're going to get a negative number on top, and you're going to get a negative number on bottom, right? So it's going to go to negative 1/2, negative what the coefficients are. Okay?